You won't believe what's unfolding behind those palace walls. People thought the scandals had calmed down, that the royal dust had settled, but no, this new revelation has Meghan absolutely shaken. Because this time, it's not the tabloids whispering. It's Prince Andrew himself talking, and what he's saying is rocking the monarchy to its core. They say when the truth finally crawls out of the dark, it doesn't knock, politely, it explodes. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Andrew isn't just spilling tea, he's setting the palace on fire. Meghan, meanwhile, is reportedly panicking. She knows the story that's about to come out isn't gentle, it's not kind, and it definitely isn't the version of truth she's spent years trying to control. Let's be real, Andrew's downfall wasn't small, wasn't private, wasn't forgettable, it was global. The whole world saw it happen in real time. His ties with Jeffrey Epstein, the shocking claims made by Virginia Roberts, and the disgrace that followed. Overnight, his titles vanished, his reputation imploded, and every royal door slammed in his face. But here's the wild part, if Andrew's connections to that dark world were enough to destroy him, why has Meghan Markle's alleged connection to the same circle been completely untouched? Same timeline, same social environment, yet two totally different outcomes. One royal punished, one protected. Where were the headlines? The investigations? The palace statements? Nothing. Just silence, a thick, deliberate silence, as if someone built a wall around Meghan's past and locked it up for good. And let's be honest, silence doesn't mean innocence. Silence usually means someone doesn't want the truth discussed. And that's exactly why Andrew's words are shaking everything, because the moment he opens his mouth, that silence breaks. And what's being uncovered changes how we see Meghan's entire rise to royalty. Before the wedding, before Harry, before the glamorous photos, there are whispers that Meghan had a not-so-secret personal connection with Prince Andrew. Not a polite handshake, not a distant encounter at an event, a real, personal relationship. According to people who were around back then, Andrew himself allegedly told close friends that he knew Meghan long before she ever stepped into royal life, that their connection was far more personal than anyone dared to say out loud. Now pause and think about that for a second, because if that's true, then Meghan didn't walk into the royal world as an outsider. She was already connected, already involved, already part of the network that everyone else thought she was new to. That changes everything. It raises questions the palace has never answered. How did they meet? How close were they? Why was this information hidden when Andrew's scandal came crashing down? If both were part of the same social orbit, why did only Andrew take the hit? Was someone protecting Meghan? Or was her history just too dangerous to expose? Whatever the reason, it's been sealed tight for years, but not anymore. Because Andrew's sudden willingness to talk is reopening every door the palace hoped would stay shut. And when you follow the trail, it leads somewhere unexpected onto the water, into a private world connected to Epstein's empire, right into the heart of the storm. Back in 2014, photographs surfaced of Meghan on a yacht. Not a public cruise, not a charity event, a private yacht. That's the same kind of world Jeffrey Epstein's last known girlfriend, Karina Shuliak, described. Private planes, secret trips, luxury waters, and exclusivity few people could ever access. She said those trips were never just vacations, they were part of his controlled environment. Now, put those details side by side. Meghan on a private yacht, same elite circle, same time frame, same luxury orbit. You can call it coincidence, or you can call it what it looks like, proximity. And in scandals like these, proximity matters. Because when the storm hit and Andrew fell, Meghan walked away untouched. Why? Why wasn't that chapter of her life ever discussed? That yacht isn't just a photo. It's a key to a part of Meghan's life that was quietly locked away. And it gets darker. When Virginia Roberts, the woman whose story brought Andrew's world crashing down, stepped forward, she reportedly wanted Meghan Markle called as a witness. Not because Meghan was famous, not because she married Harry, but because she was allegedly seen as a close past associate of Prince Andrew. Those words carry serious weight. That means someone believed Meghan wasn't a stranger to Andrew's private world. That she might have seen things, heard things, or at least been nearby when all of it was happening. But the strangest part, she was never called. Her name vanished. Her potential connection disappeared from public record overnight, like someone hit delete. The world got silence again. But silence doesn't erase history, it just buries it. And now, with Andrew talking, those buried parts are clawing back to the surface. Because Meghan wasn't some random actress who stumbled into royal life. Before Harry, she was already brushing shoulders with power, and that's where Marcus Anderson enters the picture. When Meghan moved to Toronto to film Suits, she wasn't famous yet, just ambitious. Then along came Anderson, a senior figure at Soho House, the ultra-exclusive club known for its A-list members, secret events, and quiet networking among the world's most powerful people. Anderson didn't just meet Meghan, he opened doors for her. Private dinners, elite gatherings, introductions to Toronto's wealthy crowd, connections that stretched all the way to New York and London. Through him, Meghan reportedly met high society figures like Jessica Mulroney and started moving in the kind of circles that change lives and reputations. That's when the pattern starts. Step by step, Meghan climbed, from actress to socialite, from socialite to insider, from insider to royalty. And here's the bombshell. According to those claims, Harry wasn't the first royal she was interested in. Before Harry, there was Andrew. Yes, that Andrew. Not as a mentor or friend, but reportedly as a potential romantic and strategic target. That flips the story completely. It suggests Meghan's royal connection wasn't luck. It was planning, carefully calculated positioning. But standing between Meghan and Andrew was one powerful obstacle. Sarah Ferguson Fergie herself, Andrew's ex-wife, his confidant, and his guard dog. Fergie reportedly blocked Meghan from getting too close to Andrew, seeing through whatever plan was in motion. That's when Meghan's path shifted, or maybe pivoted is the better word. If she couldn't reach Andrew, she'd find another door into royalty. And fate or strategy handed her one, Prince Harry. At first, Harry thought he'd found something pure, freedom, love, and someone who didn't belong to that cold, rigid royal machine. He saw her as an outsider, a fresh start. But the reality, according to sources, was far from it. Meghan wasn't escaping that world. She was mastering it. And when the opportunity came, she took it. With Harry, she didn't just join the royal family, she pierced its center. And that move changed everything, not just for her, but for the monarchy itself. Because what followed wasn't a love story. It was fallout, cover-ups, and the slow realization that some secrets never stay buried forever. As Harry settled into married life, whispers started reaching him, quiet, cautious, persistent whispers about Meghan's past and her alleged connection to Andrew long before they met. At first, he refused to believe them. He defended her fiercely, cutting off anyone, even family, who tried to warn him. But over time, something broke. According to the claims, Harry couldn't ignore what he was hearing anymore. The royal family's warnings suddenly didn't sound like control or jealousy, they sounded like truth. And that truth hit him like a hammer. He reportedly became withdrawn, disgusted, and heartbroken, unable to look at Meghan without remembering the past she never told him about. That's when things started unraveling. The California fairy tale became a cage. What he thought was love started to feel like betrayal. Because if Meghan had truly been close to Andrew or even once had her eyes set on him, then what did that make Harry? A backup plan? A second option? That realization, sources say, shattered him completely. Meanwhile, the palace stayed quiet. Too quiet. No headlines, no investigations, no leaks, nothing. That silence wasn't confusion, it was calculation. The monarchy had three huge fears. First, Harry's mental state. If the truth came out publicly, it could destroy him. The monarchy couldn't afford another royal breakdown in the spotlight. Second, a second Epstein-level scandal. If Meghan's name was even loosely tied to that circle, it could make Andrew's disaster look small in comparison. And third, reputation collapse. Because if the palace let Meghan in, knowing or not knowing about her past, it would make the institution look reckless, incompetent, or worse. So instead of exposing her, they protected her. But not because she was innocent, because protecting her protected them. And while the palace worked overtime to bury the noise, one man inside those same walls had finally had enough. The man who'd already lost everything, Prince Andrew. Imagine standing in silence for years, watching your entire reputation crumble, while someone else, someone who once shared your circle, walks away untouched. That's Andrew's reality. According to whispers, he's furious, bitter, tired of carrying the blame alone while Meghan remains protected behind royal walls. He feels he took the fall for both of them for a world she was allegedly part of too. And now, sources claim, Andrew is ready to talk. Not out of some noble sense of justice, but pure resentment. He's got nothing left to lose, and that makes him dangerous. And he's reportedly not alone. Sarah Ferguson Fergie, the one who once blocked Meghan's path to him, is said to be standing right beside him, aligned and prepared. Together, They hold the kind of information the palace dreads: details of Meghan's past, her link to Andrew, and what really went on before Harry ever entered the picture. For the first time, the real threat to Meghan isn't from the media. It's from within the royal family. A prince with nothing left to protect, a woman who's seen it all, and a silence that's hanging by a thread. Because the second Andrew decides to open his mouth, that silence dies, and with it, the carefully built image Meghan has spent years perfecting. And this brings us to the most dangerous piece of all, the truth the palace fears could end everything. According to insiders, there exists one secret, one buried fact powerful enough to destroy Meghan's royal chapter forever. A truth reportedly held by Andrew, Fergie, and even Princess Eugenie, a truth tied to Meghan's early connection with Andrew, to that same social orbit that Epstein once ruled, and to the reason the palace stayed silent all this time. If that truth comes out, Meghan doesn't just lose titles. She loses everything: her image, her influence, her power, her control. The world will see not a fairy tale duchess, but a strategist who infiltrated the monarchy itself. And the palace? It could fracture completely. That's why Meghan's reportedly panicking. That's why Harry's unraveling, caught between loyalty and disbelief. That's why Charles and Catherine are quietly steadying the ship, preparing for impact. Because everyone inside those walls knows if Andrew talks, the royal fairy tale collapses. And when that moment finally comes, when the man who lost everything decides there's nothing left to protect, it won't just be another scandal. It'll be history rewriting itself live, brutal and unstoppable. And this, as they whisper behind palace doors, is only the beginning.